Hello, it's Keith Keller of Melbourne, Australia. I'm booming out from Melbourne. We have got a game-changing show today. I keep saying game-changing. I can only use that once in a lifetime to actually make any effect. But I do love this site, Restream, and we're sending our files out to LinkedIn, to YouTube. We can actually send it out to up to 30 places. And as you see the show develop, I'll get more and more guests doing that for us. What we're actually going to do today is we're going to talk about Go Brunch. It's this unbelievable site that you may not yet know about, but it's bloody great. It's bloody great. Can I say bloody? Can I say bloody on the radio? I don't know, but it's a good site. It's a good site, and I love it. If you've got any questions at all, I'd love you to join us on LinkedIn and make comments in the comments box. We do have a sort of a bit of synergy here where I can actually play these comments. Unfortunately, not all of the comments come out. We're working on that. But if you do, please try and comment on LinkedIn on the chat feature. Yesterday, we had 120 comments. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. What we are going to do, just in case you want to have a look at Go Brunch, we're going to go to my Go Brunch room, and we're going to have an after party at about the 90-minute mark. So we're going to work you through how other people in the community are using Go Brunch, and then we're going to go and actually have a look at it ourselves. You can go and have a look at that now if you like. tinyurl.com, Go Brunch Social is the URL. I'm actually going to go and buy gobrunchsocial.com today so that we can make that even cleaner. But I'm just going to bring in a few of my buddies here who use Go Brunch and are familiar with it. First of all, Richard, who is the founder of Go Brunch, such a dude, in Brazil, very late there, but he's doing me a favor by staying up. Mate, what's going on with Go Brunch, and what do you want to say to people that have never heard of this site before? Because quite a few people I know still haven't heard of it.
Wow, I want to say hi, first of all. A lot of cool people here in this show today. Thank you for having us, Keith. It's a kind of a family show today. A lot of cool people. Let me see here. Yeah, amazing, Margaret. Thank you for being here with us. Kenny is here in the comments. Amolia, thank you for being here with us. Hello, Noni. Good to see you. And I saw here Tracy. I see here in the stage Chris and Ollie and some, I think Mike is here, just covering a few stuff here. Good to see you guys. I think it will be cool for us to explore some, different possibilities together.
Yeah. What I'm constantly amazed about, Richard, is that your site is so good, yet most people that I talk about have never heard about it. So I feel compelled to tell the world, my 20,000 followers and whoever else will listen, about what you do. Tell us about Go Brunch and what it does and why people could have a go at it. It's a fairly cost-effective solution. What does it do?
Yes, Go Brunch started with a dream that I had, or I was working from home, kind of feeling lonely, and I was thinking about a place where everyone could gather together, and that's how I started with the idea of Go Brunch. Go Brunch is a community builder platform. There are two ways for you to use Go Brunch. You can use Go Brunch for build your community, and then you can create these amazing spaces like you're showing here. Or what you can do is you can join one of the communities that already exist inside of the platform, right? And then even if you say, hey, you know what, I don't want to create anything, you can join the communities and you can engage with the users in a lot of different ways. And as you are showing here, amazing spaces here. I can see, I love this one, work with Amalia. Good job. Looking really cool. And this is Amalia's space. And again, you can create your space, which will reflect your personality. And then you can invite, your members or your clients or whoever you want, or even our LinkedIn friends, right? And to experience you with you or your rooms. And one of the main differences that you have in Go Brunch is that everything is in your room. And because it's a room, it's something that is permanent, right? You don't need to terminate a session. You have to end a session, right? Everything is happening there. And we all miss like the audio events. And the audio events, they kind of had like a temporary room, right? We used to call audio events as rooms. And that's because we feel like more comfortable because, yeah, it really felt like a room. And in Go Brunch, you definitely have your room with no time limit, right? With your decoration, everything that you have. And that's a little bit about Go Brunch, kid.
Let me pick up on this. This is very, 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 very important. I'm so sorry about my noisy mic. I'm going to have to get a couple of different cables. But one of the things that's very important about Go Brunch is that there is no time limit and that you can have up to 200 people. In fact, up to 600 people in your rooms. The challenge with Restream, which is a minor challenge, is that I can only have 10 people in this room. Innumerable people listening, but only 10 people in the stage. Whereas with my room, for instance, this room, I've set this up so that I can have 5 people on stage, but I can have 25 people in the audience. I could, if I was very clever, create an image that creates up to 200. Now, why this is important, this is extremely important, is that Go Brunch has an inbuilt AI generating image creator. Like, this is unbelievable. I'm trying not to use the word game changing. It loses its effect after the 186th time. So Go Brunch has a built-in AI image generator. Can you tell me about that? Because I'm gonna work through some of the images that people are making, some of which have been done with your site. This is what I did. This is what a moldy
Yes.
did. But tell us about how that works, because this is one of the reasons that you really definitely have to try Go Brunch.
I think you're right, absolutely right. I think AI images in Go Brunch, they were definitely like a game changing. And the reason why is before AI, right? Everyone, I was just helping people to find stock photos. And many times, this is not exactly the best perspective. I want something like as a top view, or it was kind of hard for people to create their images. And by the time that we started to see, AI taking place in terms of, creating imagery, it definitely caught my attention. I was just started to think about how cool would that be if people could join a room and use the AI for generating their backgrounds, right? Instead of just importing something and depending on a third party application. And I we added like the AI capability. It took us a little bit of time because we wanted to generate like high resolution images, right? And the images that we generate here, the resolution is even higher than the traditional DALI, right? Which is 1700. Here we are generating 1900. And it definitely, it definitely creates like everything or anything that you can imagine, right? If you say, hey, Chris is building his room and say, hey, I want to build like a universe underwater, right? You can definitely do that. You can just type here, I want a universe underwater, and then you can start just visualizing this inside your room. It's super fast, even faster than DALI. It's generating like, I don't know, less than 20 seconds. It generates an image, and then you can start moving your circles. Each circle represents one of your participants.
I'm trying to navigate this noisy mic.
Yeah, I can keep talking. Yeah, if you want to
What what
take
I
your time.
what I really want to do now, we've got 60 to 90 minutes where we're going to give everyone a chance to talk. But what I would love to do is I would love for us to play a little game, and I'm going to go into my Go Brunch room and create images on the fly to demonstrate how cool this is. So throw some, Amolia, let's just see. This is what you've created yourself, which is unbelievable. Like, this is a skill in itself. But what prompts did you use? That's the word we use. What prompts did you use to create that image?
So the cool thing is, I just learned right now that GoBrunch had the integrated AI. I actually went to ChatGPT and used I believe it's called Dolly, and then I took what I did was I asked it to create a virtual room with multiple seating with my brand colors of my community. And I actually put the hex in there so that way all my rooms can have that cohesive coloring. And you see, if you flick through my images, it kind of have the same coloring. And then I took it and I actually did the hard way. I actually put it from I downloaded, put in Canva, and then I went ahead and put my logo. And some of the photos you can see I actually incorporated my photo there. So I just kind of edited and personalized it more within Canva and then uploaded it to GoBrunch. But now I'm gonna go try the AI feature as well. That's so cool.
One of the reasons I love Restream is that I can now create images on the fly and add them here. So the template is 16:9 JPEG. If you do create images while we're chatting, please send them to me and I'll add them. This one here, Chris made using the AI generator inside of Go Brunch. So, Chris, you want to tell us about that? That was pretty cool. How did you do that?
Yeah, so when you go into Go Brunch, there's a icon at the bottom of the screen, kind of looks like a little keyhole. When you press it, something pops up on the left, and there's a room editor. You find the one that allows you to enter in the prompt for the background editor. And basically, you just type in exactly what you want it to look like, whatever you could picture in your head. You just type in with the keys. I sat here and I went, hey, I want this to look like a beach bar in the Bahamas or possibly, just somewhere in the Caribbean. With one of the only thing it didn't include, I asked for one of those signposts that pointed in every direction, like Hawaii, 5,000 miles or something like that. But it came out exactly how I wanted it. It looks exactly like I remember a bar that I went to years ago. And I put in some music in there, my Spotify, so it just streams Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville, or some Key West theme music. And I go in there and I hang out. And my followers can go in there and find me on the weekends. I pop in there and they can just pop in my Go Brunch room and come say hi to me. So I love it.
Yeah, and we're going to go there eventually at the end of the day, maybe 60 to 90 minutes. I want to give everyone a chance to talk here and tell us what you're doing. Hello, Michelle. Let's connect, and I want to bring you up on stage. You're saying that Go Brunch is amazing and you love using it. So let's feature you doing that. I'm very happy. We've actually got room for up to 10 people or 9 people and a cool image in the middle. So we've still got one room, one person right there. We can have a bit of a Brady Bunch look going on there, a Brady Bunch holiday. So it's a very, very, very cool feature. Very cool. This is how Chris has done it. This is how Amoli has done it. And this is how I do it. And one of the things that happened, and this is a very good segue, over the Christmas break, Ollie, a friend of mine from Belgium, said, "Mate, I haven't yet worked out how to use Go Brunch. Can I use your room?" And Ollie, you used our room for a while, and then you made your own. Tell us how you're doing that. Have we got you there, Ollie? Your mic on? I'll give him a call. Get the rotary out. Remember this sound? 1986. Hello?
Keith,
How
stop,
are you?
stop, Keith,
I got you.
please,
Yeah, we got
Keith,
you.
can I
Yeah,
share
please.
now? Because I was just doing my octopus things, and it takes me a while for me to get back. So feel free to signpost like 1 minute before if you want me to. Because I'm just right now inviting me to send my pictures of my rooms, and I was doing that, but I can do not be in the oven in the white meal at the same time. So I'm blessed that I'm really blessed about you giving me the taste of Go Brunch using your room during in December. I'm blessed also about Margaret doing her jam in Go Brunch because it's thanks to Margaret that I'm thankful about Richard. I'm thankful about all the communities. The thing is that it's a space. You don't have to know the tech. There is just a room. Use the templates that are existing, or you can fine tune your rules, your own desire. And you can hold 2, 5, 20, 50, up to 200 people. There is even more also, but it's really it's game changing. It's game changing.
You
I
can
think
say that. You can
you put Zoom aside. It's really a pale copy. Go Brunch is Zoom on steroids. So that's my
I
share.
love it. I love it. No, please do send me so the default for my rooms are
Yes,
16:9 JPEG. Please
yes,
send me those as a DM. And I'll add them
yes.
for you. If you've got any questions at all about this, please make a comment or follow me, connect with me on LinkedIn, and I can send you the link. We can actually have up to 10 people on stage. We can feature your room in the middle, and you can tell us all about it. Margaret, do you want to talk about your rooms? You've got some pretty funky rooms too.
Okay, hopefully I don't have an echo. Do you hear an echo?
No echo.
Okay.
Oh, we do have an echo. Actually, this is. Let me just play this out. I'm just a poor man from a poor family. So let's just go with the echo. Let's just make a song out of it. What do you think,
Okay.
Mike? Have a bit of fun with it?
It sounds great. I do have a teenager in the background, so I'll make this really brief. Let's see. My rooms on Go Brunch, I have many, many rooms. It's like a mansion with many rooms, and I've been absolutely blessed by just going. And I sent you a screenshot of the Zen one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make a post of it too, because everything's in its perfect timing, and it's just I embedded a live with music in there, so you can actually go in there and listen to that calming. It's a calming room with some Zen music that you can just sit there and stay calm in. I have other rooms too, like have an auditorium, a classroom, an office. You can just tailor to your needs, to your business, to your personality. Like Richard says, your room speaks about you, right? It says a lot about you, but Go Brunch speaks for itself. I mean, it's limitless. It's just timeless. It's pretty amazing here. So, yeah. So I can't say enough good things. I'm just grateful for it, and
How do you use it?
I use it for several things. So my office, I use to have meetings in there. That's what I use that for. The auditorium I use to kind of showcase and have a larger group area, so more seating in there. I also have like I said, the Zen room, and I meet there with certain people like that certain room, so that they request that room, so we'll meet in there. And then I have a mind wellness room as well that I'll be featuring in the expo, because the expo's coming up in March. Let's go. I can't wait for that. And so that's when the real fun begins, and you really get to see Go Brunch at its finest. I mean, there's so many people with such great rooms and everything, so I can't say enough about it. But yeah, my mind wellness is for my business, so yeah. But thank you so much for allowing me to speak. I'm going to go ahead and get off here because I have a very excited teenager. She's got 3 days off because it's been snowing here. So warmness to everybody. Thank you, Keith.
Oh, no worries. No worries at all. Okay. Philippe, if you want to join us, I've just sent you a link. We can have up to 10 people on stage. I would love to hear how you use this feature in regards to how LinkedIn does it. I'm just adjusting my mic. I've got a different output. I might actually have to go and buy some cords. But Molia, we mentioned a couple of really key features there. One is noisy teenagers home for the holidays. So there's a link that you share with Margaret right away. But how do you use Go Brunch? You've taken this idea up a notch, and I'm so excited about this. Tell us how you do it.
Absolutely. So this room right now that's displayed, I use it for co-working sessions and then Monday kickoffs. So I have a private community and I feel like it's just it kind of gives that same LinkedIn audio room feel where everyone can just join in. You can see who's tuning in live and you can have a safe space to have conversations without it streaming everywhere. So I do like this for my community. The co-working sessions are awesome because Go Brunch does allow you, if you need to cut on your camera, you can. And then you can also screen share. So if someone wants to collaborate on a project or need assistance, that is helpful too. I also create a client world and that's where you see the other ones for. So if someone wants to schedule a collaboration request, that's where you see the image where it's like a podcasting studio for we can kind of have conversations, virtual coffees. I do use it for that. I do have group coaching, workshops. So I do have like a full, I should say, a virtual corporate office almost. So it's pretty cool.
I think this is the. Sorry, I'm trying to navigate this terrible. I've only got one cable. The other one's already broken. I've got to get a spare. Um, I really love this idea of Go Brunch being that part two. And I want to actually share a graphic. This is one of the things I love about Restream. I can share graphics as I'm talking. When you're doing the initial stages of a business startup phase, no one knows who you are yet, and you spend so much time promoting yourself, but eventually, and it does happen, people start to know you, and you want to send them somewhere, right? Now, I reckon that place is Go Brunch. You're frantically, madly doing podcasts and events and blogs and speaking and maybe even paying for our Facebook ads. But once you get known, you got those 10 juicy customers down the bottom there. You want to send them somewhere. I reckon Go Brunch is that place. Would you agree, Amolia? This is where you're sending your people, aren't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've got a lot of great feedback sitting in there too. It's just so easy. And one thing I can say, and I feel like people don't realize too, with LinkedIn, it allows us to connect with people globally. I feel like everyone here is probably somewhere across the globe and we're in different time zones. So having this audio space allows people to feel more comfortable showing up regardless if we're in different time zone because you don't have to put your makeup on. You don't you don't have to fully get dressed. If it's a certain time that's kind of outside your scope, you can just join the audio space and just communicate and be comfortable.
Yeah, I actually think that feature right there. No, a lot of people think not putting your video on is cheating. It's not cheating. It's 10 in the morning here. That's a reasonable time. But what if it was 8 at night? What if it was 4 in the morning? You've got out of bed, or you can't sleep, or you're in your jammies. Your intelligent, your brain doesn't stop because you put pajamas on. Like, I mean, this is you don't get any smarter by wearing a tie. Like, I'm going to really play on this. A tie doesn't make my brain function better. It just is
We also
something. It's an aesthetic that we got used to, right? And I'm kicking back on it. What do you think, Mike? Mike, do you feel smarter when you wear a tie?
no. We brought this up yesterday, and I think it's really important is that sometimes video can be distracting. So if I'm really trying to focus on what you're saying, I don't necessarily need to see you in person. The other thing is, if I have 100 or 200 people on screen, I'm not going to be able to really see them anyway. So I like the idea of the audio with potentially either an avatar or a small picture. But I actually like the idea of just having an avatar like we have here.
Yeah.
And I'm using my Go Brunch room at the moment for there's something called job search councils. and it's based off a book called Never Search Alone.
Never
And
search alone.
yeah, and so it gives you a private space. The idea is to have it's usually up to 6 folks, and you act as cheerleaders and brain trust, and you actually go through the process from the book together. And then there's a bit of an accountability session, which is what we do. We do it once a week now, and it's really just to check in on you, see how you're doing. Hopefully, maybe uplift you if you need uplifting. So this fits right in. I do have a question for Richard, though. Are there any plans to integrate like text, meaning like a Discord-ish? Because what I really think would be cool would be have graphics mixed with like text channels. I don't know if he has any plans in that regard.
But
We
when you
are
say
we are
text, you mean, yeah, when you say text, you mean like for exchanging messages or more like transcripts?
No, this would be more like a Discord-ish idea.
Yes, we definitely have. Yeah, definitely have.
Okay.
Definitely. We are working on a new kind of a chat that will look like a forum. And I think you nailed it, Mike, because this is definitely necessary. Like the idea is that, the main features that we are working on right now is to enable you to build a real community here. You're going to have like different communities with different chats, just like, yeah, any, just like a Slack or any kind of these apps. And then you will be able to message group of people or just individually. Right now you can message it privately, but it's very, very simple, right? And that's one of our main priorities. Definitely create like kind of a synchronous experience for chatting. And yeah, that's there are two major projects. One of them is this one, which is pretty much like a big chat that works like a forum for people to communicate with themselves. And the second one is a membership system where you can collect payments. And this is actually very powerful because the idea is that you can lock down some of your rooms according to your subscriptions. And let's say, for example, let's say Amalia or um, let's say Chris, they have a membership here and they say, this room here is free, guys. But if you want to join in my VIP room, there's a subscription attached to it, right? And then they will get into a landing room. And that's one very interesting concept that I have seen many people doing, which is the ability for you to create landing room instead of landing pages, right? And
yeah.
instead of people getting to a website, they get into a room. And it's something that definitely, matches what you're asking. I'm glad that you asked it that, because definitely it's our main priority right now.
Do you want to jump in and tell us about the expo? Here's a picture of what the expo. Let me just explain what this means. About every quarter, every 3 months or so, this very, very cool person called Peggy creates an expo of everyone else that's using Go Brunch. So clever. Like, it's got 60,000 users. And some of these rooms are like, they're unbelievable. Like, you got to see them to believe them. And Peggy just collates those. And every 3 months, and there's one coming up in a few weeks, she collates them into an expo. And this expo is just mind blowing. Do you want to tell us about that, a little bit about that, and how people can take part?
I can definitely explore something like that. And the expo is coming up like thinking about 2 weeks. Everyone who has a Go Brunch license can be an exhibitor and promote your space. We had more than 300 people, right? And we have a lot of diversity of spaces. I can see just in the comments here, like Michelle Lewis, thank you for being here. Michelle is like it's a color psychologist, right? And you can imagine how amazing her space is, right? And even if you need help with your space with colors, make sure to get in touch with her. And Yemi, you're just mentioning here, yeah, Go Brunch, a sweet spot between 2D and a 3D environment. That was my idea, Yemi. I'm glad that you resonate. But yeah, these are some pictures from the last expo. And it's really cool because it's like a 2 day event. I think the last one was 1 day, but this one is a 2 day event organized by Peggy MacArthur. And we we pretty much have 50 or 60 spaces where we can explore and we can learn with each other. We can do networking. And then it's super amazing, guys. Like, it's very immersive. Everyone can learn with each other. And again, even if you are in a different time zone, the event has 2 days, right? You have time for kind of exploring. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. And yeah, and then you can join different spaces. You can get inspirations for building your space, or you can just network and say, hey, I'm a wellness professional, and you are a color psychologist, life partner, right? And I think there are many possibilities and many opportunities that we have been observing from the last expo. And we would like to invite everyone to attend. And if you already have a Go Brunch license, yeah, make sure to claim your booth.
Yeah, I think this is amazing. It is really amazing. I'm just trying to work my way through my comments. I think we might even crack the 100. I think we're going to crack it. I would love to join. I think Amolia, well, while we got you, you would be such a great guest for the expo. Um, Richard, can you tell Amolia how she can take part and maybe do a few sessions in her rooms?
For the expo?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I sent out today an email with the dates and all the links. I don't know, Amalia, if you got it. If you don't got it, I just I can definitely send you like a private message for any one of you guys. If you didn't get my newsletter today, I can send the links individually, or I can even paste here in the comments. Give me a minute. I'll paste the links here in the comment where you can get a booth, or you can just register to attend. More than 300 people are expected for this event during the 2 days. And again, it's a super interesting opportunity for you to showcase whatever you want. It can be your Go Brand space or your services.
I appreciate it. I was going to ask you that too, Richard. Should I just create a space particular for the expo and then just highlight, like you said, the services or a topic? Is that what
Good
people are
question.
doing?
Yes. It's up to you. I would say that you can link with your space that you have already. I think it's always, easier for you. You can just link with your space. The only thing that you have to do is add like kind of a navigation arrow that says back to Expo, right? And once people click here, they will get back to the main stage of the Expo, and you can remove after the Expo. I don't think you need like a specific space. But what is very, very important is that if you're not online in your space, right? Let's say someone is joining to visit, make sure to add enough information about it. And when I say information, it could be like a video, right, of yourself, like explaining about I don't know exactly what you're showcasing, but let's say you're showcasing the audio community, right? The amazing audio community you have. Like, you can just, showcase and with a video or with a presentation, whatever you think is more suitable. And then people can just browse your content even if you're not online in your room. That's very important.
Perfect. Thank
Richard,
you, Richard.
Richard, do you have any plans to create like a vestibule of like your space of spaces, or like a map, so you can
Yeah,
connect
that's one of the
spaces together?
requests.
Okay.
Very clever questions. Yeah. We do have right now, we have a grid that is called all rooms, where you can see all the rooms that you have inside your space, but it's not exactly a map, right? You don't know exactly how the rooms are connected. And it's interesting because one of my developers, right, and he said, hey, I was playing this week and I had an idea, right? And he was showing to me a really cool map that he created. It's nothing, right? Because it's a super prototype, but that's definitely the future, right? Like a map of how your rooms are connected. And even my dream when I created Go Brunch was to allow people to connect the spaces between themselves. I still think this is not, it's not something that is happening today, right? Because Maybe people are not ready for, why should I connect my space with you, right? But I definitely think this is the future. And hi, Adrian, good to see you. And yeah, and but we definitely envision having like maps, and I'll enable everyone to connect with each other, right? And this is for me the essence of the metaverse, but in a way more community oriented way, right? We don't need metaverses, in my opinion, that is kind of, super. We need spaces where people feel special. That's my opinion, right? We don't need spaces where you just join and we don't even know exactly what to do and nobody welcome you. We need spaces in the world where people are really welcoming and say, hey, Amolia, thank you for joining. Mike, thank you for joining. Joyce, thank you for joining. Adrian, thank you for. That's, in my opinion, the secret for community building, and that's what I have in mind for the future.
I think one of the things, Richard, you're going to find, and I've done this on Discord, and I actually managed a very large forum. It was text based. Is that people are going to congregate or want to congregate even into like separating from the main community. Like I had a Discord that was basically kind of a meeting place of people that were searching for meaning, strangely enough. But what that split off was we had a writers Discord. We had, so I think it'd be awesome to have this idea of connecting the rooms together, from various content creators. Um, Obviously your own as well, but I mean, this is one of the ideas that we're trying to lift, all boats float type of thing, so that we would
Yeah,
raise awareness and so we could have a network of content creators
Richard,
rooms.
do you want to
the
speak?
connection already exists, right? You can already connect your room with Keith, and Keith can connect with Chris, and this connection already exists. And what I think doesn't exist is the culture for doing that, right? And that's, baby steps, right? Because it's a lot of technology. Go ahead, Keith.
What I'm very interested in Richard, is we have something similar in a beginning in the idea of online friends. Now, it wouldn't be very hard to build out the online friends to online friends rooms or online events. So, can you explain? This is a very cool feature. Can you explain what you, and I'll find the graphic. Can you tell me what you've done there with online friends, and how that has really changed the paradigm of how we can find who's online and join them?
I can definitely explore a little bit about it. Initially, my idea was like, okay, if I'm friending someone, what exactly does it mean, right? Like, what kind of benefits do I get from that? And many people in Go Brunch, they are asking me like, hey, can you just build a sort of directory where I can see, who's online? But I think, I don't know, in my experiences with different metaverses, I realized that there are a lot of privacy issues, right? And we have to address this very properly, and we have to do things step by step. The first step is like, if you friend a person, you and this person, you have the ability to show yourself where you are, right? Let's say, for example, Keith is in Pizza Hut, right? Let's say this way, and let's say we have Margaret, who is in Mars, right? The two different places in Gold Brunch. All right. Now, what happened is that if Margaret is friended with Keith, she can see like, okay, Keith is in Pizza Hut. Let me see. She can click on a link, and this will take her to inside his room, right? And it's very, very cool to see the reaction, right? Because it's amazing when people are visiting us when we last expect, right? This is what would happen probably, I don't know, 50 years ago, right? Where people were visiting each other and, knocking the door, hey, I just came to say a hi. These days everyone is busy, right? But this is really cool. And then if you friend each other, you have the possibility to just check where they are, if they allow, right? There's a privacy option for that. And then you can join their rooms, right? And just, start a conversation. I did that with Keith the other day. I invited Keith to my room and say, Keith, let's see who's online. And then we found Baz online in his room. Okay, let's raid Baz's room, right? And then we click on Baz's room and we raid Baz's room. Okay, here we are. Now let's see who else is online. And then we found Shadows. And I say, okay, let's raid Shadows. And then me, Keith, and Baz, we raided Shadows corner, right? And then it was really cool because that's the idea. Keith, what is very interesting, I see a lot of people isolated in their Go Brunch room. It's a very common behavior, right? Which is, unusual to think, but it definitely happens. A lot of people, they're alone in their rooms. And I don't think they know that there are, this multi possibility for them to join different rooms and just start a conversation. That's like more than a technology, it's a culture, right? And that's why we have all these events such as the waffle, right? And I don't know if you guys ever joined the waffle, but it's really cool. Or even the expo or different community events. Ollie has many events. Of course, I have events together with Margaret, and we are disseminating these features for people to start using and definitely feel as part as a community.
Yeah. Well, it's a very good example. What actually happened is Richard said, "Mate, we got this new feature. Let's have a chat." And we had a chat. I had the time, and we said, "Look, guess what? Bez is in a room. Let's go to Bez's room." And Bez was there. And he goes, "Oh, hello." And then we said, "Who else is online?" "Oh, Shadows. Shadows is online. Let's go and have a look at her room." And we did. We went and had a look at Shadows' room. This is it. Cool. Shadows Cafe. And then suddenly, from being isolated in the back of the house with nothing going on, we were able to connect with a few people. And this feature I've been wanting for a very long time, because I said to you, Richard, many times that in Australia, unfortunately, not many Australians have heard of Go Brunch. And so whenever I'm able to go to shows, no one's doing them. Like, they're not doing them in my time zone. People send me these links and they're 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning or 8 at night, and I'm not home. I'm just not available. But suddenly at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm thinking, you know what? I've got time. I've actually got time today. Why don't I go and see who's online? I mean, it's a genius idea. It's a genius idea, Richard. Like, I mean, suddenly from being isolated, here are all these other people in their rooms, and you can join their rooms. And it's like a gig guide, isn't it? It's like a little, we've talked about this even from the very beginning. We need to know where other people are so we can join them if they're doing rooms, and they can join our room. Yeah. Bloody
Keith,
brilliant.
I use this feature on Discord all the time because I have, I'm on over 20 Discords and I don't know how many friends. So I'm constantly looking for my online friends.
Well,
So
tell
this
me,
is,
I didn't even know this feature existed in Discord. Tell me about that.
yeah, I mean, if you look, I don't know if you want to bring up Discord, but if you look at your direct messages, or sorry, your friends, it shows who's online, so you can see all your online friends and their status.
Oh, of course. Yes, yes, yes. Of course. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Of course.
and then of course you can chat with them.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
what?
I mean I literally use that every day.
Yeah.
That's part
So
of community
the
building.
feature, yeah, no, I was just saying the feature is a little bit different. It's more, I think it reminds a little bit more Twitch. I don't know if you ever used Twitch. Twitch has a really cool feature, really cool feature. I don't understand how, any social media don't do that, but it's called raid. And once you have a raid, it means like, imagine that we're having a show here, right? Everyone together. Let's say Kenny, right? Kenny has a show in about 1 hour. What happened is that Keith can just raid everyone to Keith's show, right? And everyone who's here is automatically taken to Keith's show, which means Kenny doesn't even have any kind of traction for starting his show. He's already start with, I don't know, 20, 30 people, right? That's the beauty about the raid on Twitch, which is, in my opinion, genius, right? And that's the kind of experience that I'm trying to bring to Go Brunch, which is people can raid different rooms and just gathering people to talk together, right? Like that's the idea for the near future.
Yeah, look, I do 3 shows a week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays in Melbourne, and often on a Thursday, which is Melbourne in the US, which is Wednesday in the US. Sorry, Wednesday. There is a Melbourne, Florida in the US, but it's Wednesday in the US. People often call me on a Thursday and go, "Mate, where's your show? Don't you do a show on Wednesdays?" I do. Wednesdays in Melbourne. It's Thursday for me. I'm having a day off. Right? And imagine if there was a little button that says, "Okay, where are my buddies now? Where are they? Well, let's go to one of the shows that are actually live now." This is the future of content. Like, um, so cool. Like, the future of content is engagement. I never listen to static shows anymore. Never. I want to go to a show where I can be part of it, where I can. It's happening now, and there's a vibe, and that's a very, very specific thing. So you're doing a very good thing there, Richard. I'm going to give you kudos for that. I just think it's the coolest thing. You got this really cool online friends format, and you've got these great expos coming up, and this is what they look like. You go to these rooms, and there's sometimes hundreds of people in there. You can have up to 600 people in a room on Go Brunch. It's virtually limitless. You know, not that you'd ever have 600 people. So we're playing this out because a lot of people have never heard of this site. And Ollie, jump in. I'm sort of, if you're sort of hanging there, tell me how you use Go Brunch. I'm going to try and find some of your rooms and bring them up for you. How do you use Go Brunch? You love it. Tell me why you love it and how do you use it?
I love it because it's about connecting with community. It's about come in the space. A space is just a place where you can build anything that you want, depending on your desire. Do you want to talk with someone? Want you and the other person to be on camera? Do you want to share your screen? Do you want to guide into a chatbot or PDF? Do you want to make a space that will be open 24/7 and anyone is able to join even if you are not in the space? That's game changing. And my 3 pillars, language coaching, that's my main pillar that I'm going to. So gathering in Café du Bien. Café du Bien is a way to connect with people. And meditation and prayer, that's for me, but I will also open for the community to be able to for them to gather. So there is the forest, there is the church, and Café du Bien is an interesting way to have a space where we can speak to each other's. But mainly it's about language code. So,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this was an old picture, but it's good that it's a good example that you found it. It was back in the days where I was creating rooms, and I was really, this was really my first attempt of with a library. So
I think this is really cool because these images were created in the Go Brunch AI simulator, and this
yes,
this feature is included inside of Go Brunch, which is the fantastic reason to use it. Even if for no other reason, it has this very, very strong, easy to use simulator. Look at that library! Look at that library! And Joyce and Ladreau are in the call. I'll just send you some links if you want to come in. We can have up to 10 people. So what this show is about, because surprisingly to me, not a lot of people have heard of Go Brunch. I'm trying to introduce Go Brunch to the world in an environment where most of my friends have never heard of it. In fact, Virginia's on the call and she's saying, what am I signing up for? What's this? So a lot of people say this to me. So here's an example of what was built as a go-to place after the expo, the Big Happy Biscuit Cafe. Right, and we all had a bit of fun there after the event. This is what the one of the rooms we went to looked like. Really great room, the Go Brunch Cafe. This is the show, or the actual expo. What it looks like is sort of like a homepage. If you do have any questions, please ask them, because we got so many people in the
Keith, I
room.
got one quick question for you.
Yeah.
So did you know that we hit 100 messages?
Oh, bingo! And we did it! We did it!
And as an aside, a little happy birthday surprise to Keith Keller. Keith Keller was just named one of the top 100 thought leaders in East Asia. So congratulations to Keith.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that. But that being said, I just in case.
Yeah, I was about to shout out, right? Like, congratulations.
Just in case, I thought, just in case someone mentions it surreptitiously. No point.
Just
point
bragging, right, Keith? Just bragging a little bit here.
There's no point in hiding. I mean, someone in the world thinks I'm a nice person, so I might as well leverage that. So that's top 100 thought leaders in Asia Pacific, which means Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong, China, Japan, and there's 99 other really cool dudes that I need to connect with today and thank them and congratulate them, some of which live in Melbourne. So that's pretty cool. But we're at that 1 hour mark. I think we're still going to keep going. Very soon we're going to actually go to the Go Brunch after party. I'm going to just try and find Joyce and Ladrew, because I know they love this site, and they also use another couple of sites, Fanbase and EV Mux, which we've experimented with before. So, Molia, we'll give you a last chance. I know you got to go soon. Why don't you wrap up your segment, and then we'll throw to the others. You've got some busy kids there, at least one very, very cool daughter who needs your attention and is looking at you lovingly, wanting to play. So tell us, what are you going to do with Go Brunch moving forward, and how can we help you get the word out?
Absolutely. So I definitely want to use Go Brunch. I like the after party idea. So I think I might create a room for after my events that I do live. So if you want to spread that as well, but I definitely just love it, just exploring it. I am brand new to Go Brunch. So just building out the rooms and things like that. I'm excited and I'm really looking forward to leveraging the space for my audio leadership club. So I appreciate you having me join you today.
You are so on the money with that. Like, I mean, it's such a good idea. Tell us about it. You're using a site called Heartbeat, which is in a way a direct competitor to Discord. It's very similar, but a lot easier to use. It looks fantastic, and you're really leveraging it. You've got it in your colors. That might be coincidental, but tell us how you're doing it.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is the colors are intentional. But I like Heartbeat because you can have it as an app on your phone as well as just the desktop version. A lot of my community members said they just love having the app, getting the alerts and notifications. I like the fact that it allows you to host events directly from it. So as my members want to host events, live streams, master classes, it creates the landing pages. It just really streamlined everything you need to do within the community. And it also allows you to build courses. So I haven't done that yet, but I've been actually speaking with members that wants to feature courses in there. So it's a really cool tool to use. And the Audio Leadership Club is a space for leaders that are interested in podcasting, live events, and just collaboration. So it's a really good space.
That's good. It's very, very, very important to me that we help each other out here. Like, I don't know everything. I'm one guy in Melbourne, Australia, but I've got some stuff. But wouldn't it be great if we could all get together? And that's the power of community. We just build 1 + 1 = 3. I've got some accountant friends who have disagreed with me at various times at various barbecues about this, but 1 + 1 = 3. 1 and 1, you multiply, because you get sort of into those hidden areas. I'm just making this up now, but anyway, you go and do your thing, Amolia. I know you've got some parenting to do. I'm going to bring in a few more buddies. Joyce and Ladrew are hanging there in the back channel. We're going to get them in a minute. So a big warm round of applause for Amalia. There you go. Oh, we love you. We do. We actually do. We love you. We love you. Oh, stop it. So
You are the
Amalia,
best, Amalia.
you go and do
Thank
your
you,
thing,
everyone.
and we'll talk to you around. And we are indeed going to go to an after party, but we're going to give everyone a chance to talk. Now,
All right. Well, bye, everyone.
and with
Bye,
that in
Molly.
mind, do you want to do a duet, Margaret? Hallelujah, hallelujah, Figaro. Hallelujah, Figaro. You probably can't hear that echo. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
No, but I wanted to say happy birthday to you and congratulations on your Asian being noticed 100th and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Might as well leverage that.
Wow, thought leader, thinkers.
Yeah. So what I'm really interested in is why is there? I'm really fascinated by this. No one else is echoing. What are you doing there that no one else is doing? What do you think? Let's have a bit of a powwow about this because this is going to come up in our other shows. What's your tech? Tell me about your tech stack. What are you doing? Are you talking into your
It's probably my fault. Yeah.
No, you're fine. I'm on the HP. I'm not on the Mac, where I stream the amazing jam with Richard here. But yeah, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit dated, and so sorry about the echo. I thought you said I wasn't echoing. I guess I am now. So hello.
It doesn't matter.
I think I should
Doesn't matter anymore. It's a major third. It doesn't matter. That's an octave. No, it doesn't matter anymore.
Margaret, are you using a head?
Put those three together, we would have the Beastie Boys.
It doesn't matter anymore.
No, you can't hear this, Margaret, but we have so much fun. We're doing a concert with Red Rocks.
It's okay. I can laugh with you, so it's okay. I know how to laugh with you.
But what do you think it is? What is that echo?
Is she using a headset?
No. Is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Is using a headset? Because I'm not using a headset, to be honest with you.
Your mic is picking up your speaker output.
Oh,
Littering
okay.
and littering and.
Well, I'll just quickly say, I'll get off here, but I'll quickly just say, that I'm really grateful. I think everybody knows that I'm really grateful for Go Brunch, but please don't be hesitant to join. This is an additional space to what you already have, is one of the things that I did want to say. Whether you're on LinkedIn, you're on Clubhouse, it's always good to have an addition. And just to add more to your business and to leverage it, it's just going to go that much further. And this is one of the greatest things that I wanted to say to you all, because it is, like Ollie says, it is a game changer, because you're giving your business a visual. So yeah,
It's very important.
just want to encourage everybody, and because some people are hesitant. They'll feel like, oh, I'm being disloyal, or oh, I can't do this, and oh, I shouldn't. You're just adding for yourself. It's just going to be beneficial. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you so much.
Oh, look, I think it's important that we have a backup. So I love LinkedIn. I love Restream. I love Go Brunch. And I'm not a parent, but imagine if you had 3 kids and someone said, oh, mate, you could only have one. This is a very good example. Well, let's pick the oldest one. He or she, they got in first, and let's give the other 2 away. I'm exaggerating to make a point because I'm not a parent, so I'm probably treading on a few toes here. But imagine if someone said, okay, you can only have one, and we got to give up the rest. Well, my second daughter is about 3 years younger, and she hasn't yet hit high school, so maybe we could save like a bucket of money by giving her away. Or, maybe if you had 2 dogs or 2 cats or, 2 elephants, well, the second one came a lot later and we can't afford to keep it anymore. So let's just give that up. I'm exaggerating to make a point because we don't have pets and we don't have kids, and I can make this joke because it doesn't affect me. But you got to have a backup. What happens if LinkedIn disappears or bans you? It has happened. I've been banned by LinkedIn for 4 days in the middle of a show. What happens then? Where do you go? Where do people connect with you for 4 days? Come on, 4 days. Well, that felt like an eternity. I couldn't go online for 4 days. I've got to have a backup. Anyway, that's my rant. We've actually got room for another 3 people. There's someone on stage called Memoirs. I don't know what that means and who that is, but I'd really love for you to have your real name and a picture of yourself so that we can maybe I can bring you up. Can you explain who that is? Memoirs. That's not really a name, or is it? Is that the artist known as Memoirs? Who is that? Can you want to identify yourself, and we'll just see if it's worth having to chat about that. Memoirs. Who is that? What are we doing there?
I think that Ollie can pronunciate this better, right, Ollie? How do I say this? A French word? Maybe it's memoir.
In fact, it's I don't know how it's spelled, but it's like memory, but it could be also for a thesis. Like when you autobiography, but
It's
it's
Joyce.
memoirs.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
But
Let's
okay, yeah.
have this
yeah.
chat. Is that
Ooh. Joyce, yes, Joyce, welcome. It's Joyce Moore, so welcome.
Yeah, no
Good
worries.
to see you, Joyce. Thank
But
you for joining.
Yeah, thank you. Feel free to speak.
yeah, so all right. Well, given that we know who Joyce is now, I find this a little bit challenging. As a host, I had to ask who it was before I could bring her up on stage. I don't think that I don't know. I don't know about this, but anyway, tell me what you're doing, Joyce, and why you're using Memoirs as your handle. I'd love to hear that. Have that chat. What are we doing?
I think,
She has
yeah, she's mentioning that
she has mic
her mic
problems.
is muted. Yeah, do I have to allow her, or I don't?
Testing,
Oh, yeah, here that.
testing.
You gotcha. We gotcha.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So, Memoirs Onboarding is the name of my GoBrunch community. So now you guys can come visit me since you had no idea who I was. I'm also in the Global Expo Plaza, and you'll see that as well. So that's why I use Memoirs. It is French. It's also the name of my book, Memoirs of a Shy Girl, just to introduce myself. But hey, you guys.
Well, tell us about how you're using Go Brunch. Send me a JPEG if you want me to share that for you. Tell me why you're using Memoirs and what does it mean, and how are you using Go Brunch to sort of build your community?
So basically, as I mentioned, Memoirs is part of my community. It's Memoirs community. And I also do onboarding actually in real time on social audio. I invite others to any social space. And I kind of talk with you, Keith, so you kind of know the logist of me doing the social onboarding experience that I've been having. So basically, I've realized that a lot of people don't want maybe a chatter, maybe a fan base, or maybe a go brunch. I like to meet everyone where they are, right? And so with building that community, I get to meet them on Go Brunch. Everyone loves Go Brunch. So that's where I'm able to meet everyone in one place. So I'm building is from Go Brunch. And I love what Richard said earlier about, I think it's a raid or something, to where
Yeah,
people will be able to announce when they have events. So I think that's pretty dope. I'm looking forward to that and just kind of connecting us so that we know who we are and we know what we're doing. Because I'm new to this still on Go Brunch. And so I'm overwhelmed with all the people that I'm meeting since I've been able to come on board. I also use GoPro or streaming through StreamYard, so it does have me listed as memoirs on there too. So that's
Yeah.
kind of one of
One
those
of the
things.
things you mentioned a couple of things there, Joyce. This is very, very, very important. Um, a lot of sites, including Restream, and a few people have said, "Look, Keith, mate, I want to come on stage, but do I have to join another account? Come on, do I have to join another account? Another account? Another account? I'm doing this all day." So with Go Brunch, there's a link and you're in. That's it, clean. I'll send you the link and you're in. That's all. There's no BS. You're just in and we're all talking. It's simple, it's quick, it's fast, right? And this is the major difference between Go Brunch and a lot of other sites. You don't have to sign up for an account. You just click on the link and you're in. Brilliant. In fact, we're going to try this in a few minutes, in about 20 minutes. So, Joyce, tell us a little bit about how you're using LinkedIn, the Go Brunch sort of as part of the strategy. I think I've still got a graphic here I want to share. I think I deleted it. You use Go Brunch as like a place to send people after they already know who you are, or you like the idea that you don't need a sort of a fancy account. You just log in and you're in. Yeah.
So since I've been in the onboarding space, I actually do onboarding on Fanbase social audio. So that gives me an opportunity to create another funnel, so to speak. And I always have Go Brunch as my go to because I conduct interviews there. I mean, it's the limit. I have so many opportunities right now. I have interviewed a few people just telling me about their story. You know, a lot of people are kind of shy. I didn't realize how many people are actually shy to speak up and talk about their story. That's kind of why I have the book Memoirs of a Shy Girl, because I was that shy girl that didn't speak up much, that didn't
Memories
talk.
of a Shy Girl. That is such a cool name for a song. Memories of a shy girl, shy girl.
Yes. Can
Memories
you
of a
believe it?
shy girl, shy girl. Sing it
But you
with
got
me.
to say memoirs, though. Memoirs.
Memoirs,
'Cause that's
memoirs. You know.
exactly.
So
And I'm recovering from a cold, you guys. I'm still kind of snuffy, stuffed up, or whatever, but I'm better. So that's the good thing. But yeah, so
Joyce,
I'm really enjoying Go Brunch. And as you see, this profile picture is actually one that I created in Go Brunch. It's actually a coral, I don't know how much you can see, but bathroom scene. I'm like, bathrooms are one of those decorations that you can never imagine enough how spacious they can be. So it's got the rug, it's got the shower, and the just everything is so cool about it. And I created that in GoBrunch, so I'm really
can
excited
you
about.
send me the JPEG of that and I'll bring it out for you? Like, can you send me the JPEG 16:9?
Yeah, I can send you the photo of it. I have a few different variations as well. So yeah, I'll send that to you. But it was
Yeah.
just so exciting to be able to create in GoBrunch. I'm really enjoying it. I love art. I love home decor, and it's right down my alley right now. I'm decorating all of my rooms in some type of decor. So it's a
Look, I
journey.
want to pick up. I want to pick up on what you're saying there. One of the things that I love about Go Brunch is that we can design rooms that are somewhat indicative of what we talk about. So this is my auditorium room, and I go there when I run events. And you'll go. This is where the actual after party is going to be. And what I've done is I've embedded an interview with me in New Zealand on the top right, top left, and on the top right, I've embedded a link that says what's next. Here's a link to what's coming up on the show. I do 3 shows a week now. So this site has so many cool features. Like, I am just devastated that hardly anyone in the world's heard of it. By comparison, 60,000 people compared to like a billion people on LinkedIn. It's criminal that this site is underutilized. It's my goal in life now to tell everyone about it. So this is how I do it. And I've got a couple of different rooms. I did a Christmas party room here, and there's a piano. And our friend Sherry from New Zealand actually played piano, and there's a guitar and a drum set. And Kenyatta from Phoenix, Arizona, played the drums. I think that was the same gig. And there's like guitarists, and there's mics, and there's lots and lots and lots of chairs. So you can imagine yourself here. It's very visual, like it's very immersive. right? And I do a lot of shows in this format, and I just love it. I just love it. We do need emojis for Restream. That is true. One thing I can say is if you are watching on LinkedIn, you can do the emojis live on LinkedIn. So that is one compensation. If you are listening on LinkedIn, and we've cracked 100 comments already, please listen in on LinkedIn and make comments there. You can use emojis there. So that's pretty cool. Ladru's saying that he is using a few different things together. I'll bring him in a minute to talk about that. I think he's in a noisy environment and can't speak right at this time. But I'm really quite excited by what we're doing here. What I might do, I think I've given everyone a chance to speak. I'm going to just give everyone a chance to wrap up. Richard, what do you think are the main elements that you love about Go Brunch? Given that you're the founder and a little bit biased, what are the main features that people need to know if they've never heard of this before?
Well, I won't be like I won't be philosophical, right? Because I'll just mention the features and maybe later we can talk about philosophy. But yeah, the main features, I think I'll break in three, right? I think the first one is the level of customization. People love to customize because they want to express who they are. I think that's very important, which is you can customize your rooms, you can add embeds, right? And some of the examples here we are not showing, but embeds are very powerful because you can add videos, you can add even like Canva designs, you can add a lot of different stuff. I have seen amazing, cool things right here in GoBranch, like you can embed a calendar, you can embed a playlist of music, right? And this is not possible anywhere, right? Like it's super different. You can embed a gallery of YouTube videos. And I think embedding stuff like definitely makes the room with your personality. um I think all these customization options that we have, right, just makes you feel like, okay, I'm just playing in a way that it kind of reminds us when we were kids, right? Because building stuff doesn't matter if I was like playing with Barbie or playing with Lego, right? I think either way we are building something here, and we feel like proud of showing off, right? That's I think the main purpose behind it. This is number one. Number two is, I'll say, the round the clock, right? Which means you don't have like a limit. And when we are here on Restream, this is a session, right? That's what I wrote this week on my on LinkedIn here, right? Like the difference between a session and a room. A session, it has like a limit of time. A room, not necessarily, right? Many times you are in a room and it happens to you many times, right, Keith? You say, "Hey guys, I have to leave, but you guys can stay." And we stayed like 3 hours, 4 hours, right? And then you came back, and oh, you guys are still here. It's just like you're coming back to your barbecue, and you still. That's where the magic hours happen, right? And
I
that's
think the reason I love it so much, Richard, picking up on what you said there, is that it simulates real life. Like, there's not a single person on this call from the town that I live in. I think this is very profound. Like, virtually no one from Melbourne comes to my shows. So when I meet my friends from Melbourne, I'm meeting them in Melbourne because we live in the same town. But no one from Melbourne comes to my shows. So everyone that I'm talking to on this show doesn't live where I live. And because of that, I would never meet them otherwise. So imagine that. Imagine if I just cut that part of my life out and I only ever hung out with people that lived in my town. I think that's a bit of a shame. Personally, I just think that's a bit of a waste. People might disagree. I mean, depending on your view of community, but I think it's a bit of a shame if I can only hang out with people that live in my town. There's 8 billion people in the world and there's 6 million live in Melbourne. It's a pretty funky town. I could fill my days just hanging out with people, but Melburnians, Australians think in a certain way. There's a large, diverse cultural diverse sort of synergy here. But the point is that I love talking to Ollie in Belgium and Chris in um, New Jersey, and Richard in Brazil. Like, I just love that. And Chirito in Philippines, and Sherry in New Zealand, who's actually from Taiwan. I just love that. I just love that cultural diversity. And we do have a bit of it here, but imagine if we could simulate real life and then talk to people from all over the world. I just love it. I can't believe how much I love it. And
Keith, the other thing though is that offers to Richard's point, at least I think he was making this point, it's 24/7, 365.
well,
If
that's
people know
yeah,
what your room space is. So you can literally, I mean, I keep on using the Discord analogy because that's what I've used for a long time, particularly during COVID. But if we agree that this we could call it Keith's Pub or something, and to your point, it's global, it's 24/7, 365. It's a meeting space for people that want to get together.
yeah, and I think there's real value in that. This became very apparent to me during the pandemic. We couldn't leave, and I'm a bit of a social creature, right? So for me to be able to say, well, look, I can't go anywhere. I'm just stuck in my house. This is why Clubhouse was so important. But I think we've moved past Clubhouse. This is sort of like Clubhouse with pictures, right? And this is a bar that simulates a place near my house. It's not exactly the same, but I live near the beach. I live near the beach. And there's a cafe near the beach that looks a little bit like this. Not exactly, but you can get a bit of a vibe. Oh, there's Keith. It's summer here. It's going to be 31 on Saturday. I think that's like about 105. So it's going to be like 100 degrees. I can never do Celsius and Fahrenheit. So 87. Okay, I'm exaggerating because I can never work it out. But so it's going to be like 87, 90 degrees on a Saturday afternoon, and let's go to the pub and have a few beers. You can sort of put yourself there. If you can't come to Australia, say, if you just can't bring yourself to get on a plane and go that far, it's a long way. So, is this how you use it too, Joyce? And we've got your picture now. Is this how you use it as well? To simulate real life. I mean, I love the idea that we're simulating real life. There's a friend of mine from Melbourne, Box Hill. Actually, I've met Rita. We've actually met in person, and I don't think we've got Joyce there yet. So, does that sort of make sense, Mike? That we're meeting people where they are. We're still talking. It's like you're in a room, but you don't live in my town. And I've never. You're in New York. I've never been. Yes, you're in New York. I've never been there. I'm not going there, especially not now. So
I have been to Melbourne and Sydney.
Oh, you have, yeah, you have
Yeah,
been there,
a
and
long time ago.
but a lot of people haven't been to the towns that we're in. I've never been to Brazil, for instance. It's a
That is
long
a
way.
long flight,
Yeah, I've never
20
been to
20
these
something hours,
places.
I think.
Yeah, and a lot of money.
Now,
So
during COVID, Keith, this kind of kept me sane in COVID because, to your point, I couldn't go out, and so this was my church, so to speak. This was the capability to join people of like minds and just chat about anything.
yeah, and it is that idea that, and this is why I love Restream, but more importantly, Go Brunch. I've just found the actual JPEG, actually the PNG for Joyce, so I'm going to feature her, and then she can come on and talk about that. This is the actual image that she created on the Go Brunch simulator. I'm going to turn that into a 16:9 and a JPEG in a minute. But Joyce, tell us about that. This is pretty special. Tell us how you did it, and if how people can do it as well. You having mic problems again? Why don't you pick up on this, Richard? How would someone create an image like this in the inbuilt AI generator?
I'm
Post
just thinking
prompt.
here, right? Like, yeah, let's have a shower and go brunch. I don't know, kid. Like, it's definitely beautiful, right? I think I'll make a mess because of the sounds a very expensive rug, right? And really close to the shower. But definitely, I think it's all about the prompt that you're typing. Like, I don't know, golden bathroom. And with sophisticated kind of luxury, if you type something like that, a luxury bathroom with golden details, you're probably gonna get something like that. But it looks really crisp, like not many glitches, right? Looks really, really good job. Good job.
Yeah, this is an art. Like, this is a thing. Prompt engineering, it's a thing. Like, it might sound easy, but it's not. It's not easy. Like, I mean, it's possible. It's free. It's cool. It's great. But what you said, Richard, is that this one's been done pretty well. This
If you
idea.
need a prompt, ask ChatGPT for the prompt for Go Brunch.
How would you do that? Tell us about that.
You would type or talk as if you have the paid version, talk into to ChatGPT and say, "Give me a prompt to describe a beautiful Hilux bathroom with uplighting and interesting
Why wouldn't you just write that?
circuit." Well, I'm saying this will give you the prompt though, or at least it gives you ideas for prompts. Give
Yeah.
me give me ideas for prompts to create a wonderful image of a bathroom, for instance.
Actually, let's have this discussion. This is very, very important. Some sites, the sites that I personally use the English language. Like, they use language. Bathroom, rug, shower, gold. Right? It uses real words. The idea of having to create a prompt to create an image actually sounds a bit silly to me. Like, we've already gone past that. When you don't need a prompt to create an image, just use the words. Just type those words into Restream and you got it.
No, fair enough. If you have used these programs enough to kind of know what they're looking for, the bottom line is the better the prompt, typically, the better like DALI or whatever is going to create an image of. So that's all I'm saying is, use ChatGPT. It would come up with some ideas, but you do you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
Keith,
this idea. Like, prompt.
I'm gonna chime in on this actually a little bit. This is pretty much how I use my AI all the time. I have my advanced voice going all day long. I brainstorm ideas with it. I help write my articles all day long when I'm going back and forth with it. So, using your advanced voice, I think, is a ChatGPT game changer. It helps you create content all day long on the fly, and it gives you ideas for everything. So like what he's saying, I'll just be like, hey, I'll be walking around my kitchen, be like, you know what, I want to redesign a Go brunch room, and I'll just be like, I want it to look exactly like my kitchen. So I'll just talk about it while I'm walking around it. That prompt, I'll just close out of advanced voice, copy paste, put it into Go brunch, and all of a sudden you got my kitchen in Go brunch. It's easy.
The other thing which Chris turned me on to and I just paid for, um, I don't know why, but the desktop version does not have the extended voice, but the app on the phone does, which makes no sense to me. But and it is a game changer.
Yeah. This is very important. Go Brunch, Chat GPT is obviously one of the, and probably the main AI tools. I don't use that. I use Microsoft Designer, or what's called what do they call it? There's something else they call it, but I use Microsoft Designer, which is unbelievable, and it has its own little variations on things. But it's a very, very important point that we're having, because Go Brunch, very separately to Restream, gives you that very immersive feeling. And if you want to actually have a look at it, I want to give you the chance. So a few people are saying, look, Keith, I don't really want to set up an account on Restream just to talk on stage. That seems like a bit of a silly concept to me. Can't we just go to Go Brunch and chat? and we can, and we will. And I'm going to do that right now. So let me just see if I can find the chat. It's going to be a long way away because we've had so many comments. 125, I think. So what I'll do is I'll type it in separately now. I'll send you all the link to the Go Brunch room, and we can make a direct comparison to Go Brunch versus Restream. What you're watching now is Restream. We can only have 10 people on stage, and you do indeed have to have an account to join the show. You can watch the show, but you can't join on stage unless you have an account, and I invite you, which does give me a lot of joy because then no one's turning up randomly. But Go Brunch allows up to 600 people on stage, 200 on the main site, and then 600 on the very advanced version, which is not that much money. And we'll talk about that on the show. So I'm gonna find the link. I'm gonna put it here in the show notes, and then I'm going to go over to Go Brunch right now. So, Richard, tell us about the various layers. This is very important. There's 3 different layers that people can buy because you have a lifetime deal now, which is so cool. Tell us about those lifetime deals.
Yeah, we are trying, different revenue streams. That's why lifetime deal is very interesting because, as more people we have on board, more community building we're going to have. Right now we have like three different tiers. The first one allows you to create anything that you want. I think it's already very generous, up to, I think, 200 people. And you pay just one time and you have, lifetime access. The second one is up to, I think, 400 people. But the main difference about the second one is that you can have a subdomain. Let's say if you don't want to use gobrunch.com for any particular reason, you can use your own domain for that and create something a little bit more customized. And the third one is allows you to have like 7 subdomains. And the reason why is, many tacky people, right? They have multiple businesses. Say, oh, I have one business which is more focused on, for my, I don't know, for my family. The second one is a business that I have with my brother, and the second one is business and they can have different domains for each one of them, right? That's why we have all these features, because once the users request, we try to fulfill what they're asking for. 3 different tiers. If you want to be part of it, if you're still not, I think everyone here already have, but if you don't have, make sure to message Keith, and Keith can share the links with you.
The very, very important thing about the Go Brunch lifetime deal, let's just think about it from the business point of view. It's $79 forever, one time. But because it's an AppSumo deal, Richard gets 35% of that. It's not very, very good for him. So what I've done is we've found a way to give the same price, but he gets 65%. He's just flipped the model. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm getting the other 35%, and that's going towards buying my Rodecaster Pro Duo gadget that I really do desperately need now. I'm starting to realize I probably can't do without it, and I will get one eventually. I'll probably just pay with my Christmas money. But if you do find that Go Brunch is a thing, you can have it for $79. Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So there's a few people gathering now in Go Brunch. I'm going to go over there, and I'm sending everyone the link. We can have up to 25 people in this room as opposed to 10 people in the LinkedIn room. So I'm going to play a little sound and finish this show very professionally, and then I'm going to send everyone else the link to my Go Brunch room, and we can go over there. This is actually what it looks like. So you've got a bit of a sort of a simulator there. I'll play a little bit of music, and then we'll finish it up in a very professional way, and then I'll move over to Go Brunch and have a chat to you there.